RedSec was supposed to be the bold experiment. Battlefield's big pitch, a fire-based survival mode built on destruction, gunplay, and tactical decisions. Instead, it lit a fault line straight down the player base. Let's take the gloves off and find out what's what. Some players are calling RedSec Battlefield's most refreshing mode since Firestorm. Others are saying this isn't Battlefield, this is a BR wearing Battlefield clothes. Some thinks it's slow, methodical, and tactical. Others think it's too slow, random, and restrictive. And that split isn't a surface level. It cuts into pacing, identity, survival philosophy, movement, and even how people expect Battlefield to feel. And that's what we're doing today, dissecting RedSec's divide with the scalpel, why it's splitting the community, what's actually working, what's quietly sabotaging it, and what DICE must address before Season 2 arrives and the entire mode fractures into two incompatible expectations. RedSec didn't roll out quietly. It arrived hot, with a completely different pacing loop, a completely different threat mechanic, and a completely different expectation for how you're supposed to survive. Battlefield players walked in expecting large-scale tactical movement. Battle Royale players walked in expecting aggressive rotation, high stakes, and constant and consistent loop power curves. Neither group got exactly what they expected, though. Battlefield players reacted with things like, "This is the most tension I felt in years. This brings back strategy. The fire ring feels fair, not cheap." Meanwhile, BR players said things like, "TTK is too fast for these movement speeds, third parties don't work the same, there's too much downtime, the loot system is too shallow." And here's the real fracture point. Battlefield players want the mode to feel like Battlefield. BR players, however, want the mode to feel like a Battle Royale. RedSec is stuck trying to serve both and satisfying neither consistently. That's the root of the split. But to understand the full damage, we need to break down what's actually happening inside the mode, because players aren't arguing about the same things. They're arguing from two different expectations. The Ring of Fire. Brilliant idea, unpredictable execution. Let's give credit where it's due. The Fire Ring is the smartest rotational zone Battlefield has ever built. It's not a magical storm wall, it's not a glowing circle, it's a burning perimeter that advances like a natural hazard. Players love its feel of physicality. It pressures movement logically. It changes the map every match. It pushes squads together without teleporting danger behind you. But the implementation creates new friction. Some rotations generate long empty stretches. Some collapse squads too aggressively. Sometimes pacing swings between nothing happening and all hell broke loose all at once. Players who enjoy tactical build-up love the ring. Players who want consistent pacing see it as too passive. And because RedSec doesn't declare who it's for, both opinions treat themselves as the baseline. Then you have the destruction, the tactical tool, or is it a random punishment? Destruction, Battlefield's trademark, and RedSec leans into it heavily. On the positive side, you can create flank paths, you can deny roof campers, you can open up new approach routes, you could wipe cover they're locking an angle from. But here's the issue. Destruction also exposes your position instantly. Blow a wall, everyone on the map knows what you're doing. Use explosives to deny an angle, you risk revealing your entire squad. Destruction helps when you control it. It hurts when it forces you into exposure you didn't intend. The mode doesn't currently distinguish between tactical demolition and accidental visibility spikes. And that inconsistency feeds the frustration. The loot system? Is it too simple for BR or just right for Battlefield? RedSec's loot is controversial. Battlefield players like it because it's clean. Weapons, ammo, utilities, simple armor. BR players think it lacks depth. No clear rarity hierarchy. Minimal attachment variations. No meaningful loot progression. Limited mid-match upgrades. Battlefield players say, finally, a BR where skill matters, not loot and RNG. Battle Royale players are saying, there's no decision making, it's just fire, gun, and go. Both arguments are fair. DICE built a hybrid system, but hybrids only work when the identity is clearly defined. And yes, there's a little irony there. And RedSec didn't do that. And the lack of clarity creates a loot expectation mismatch. Then you got the time to kill. Too fast for this mode's rotation speed. This is the big mechanical contradiction. RedSec has fast TTK, slow repositioning, dense sightlines, limited escape options. So when you lose a fight, it often feels like you didn't have the tools to recover. Players don't mind fast TTK. Battlefield has always leaned towards deadly encounters, but fast TTK and slow rotation means more unavoidable deaths. More caught in transition moments. More, I fired first but died anyway situations. This isn't a balance failure, it's a pacing mismatch. And it's why the mode feels fair to some, frustrating to others. And then you have the weekly challenge, the hidden community bomb. RedSec became the forced destination for progression. Players didn't choose the mode, challenges pushed them into it. That single decision created resentment on both sides. Players who like RedSec now deal with squads who don't want to be there. Players who don't like RedSec resent being required to play it. The philosophical damage is worse than the mechanical damage. Battlefield players hate feeling funneled. BR players hate teammates who show up begrudgingly. The mode isn't splitting the community, the forced participation is. The solution is obvious, dual path progression, RedSec or core modes, same rewards, same choice. Now, this is one of the few things so far that the devs have addressed, but they didn't have the foresight to do the dual challenge first and put it into the game. This came after feedback. Let's pull back the curtain a bit for a second. RedSec is not the actual source of conflict, it's the outlet. The real argument is this. Half the Battlefield community wants the series to slow down. Half wants it to speed up. RedSec stepped directly in the middle of this tug-of-war. One half of the audience, RedSec is tactical, deliberate, tense, methodical, old-school Battlefield. To the other half, it's slow, random, passive, overly punishing, not Battlefield, not even BR. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Both sides are right. And both sides are wrong. Because RedSec never defined which side it belongs to. Is it a Battlefield-flavored BR? Or a BR-flavored Battlefield mode? DICE didn't say. Players filled in the blanks themselves, and now they're fighting over the definition. This is why the discourse is so volatile. Players aren't arguing over mechanics, they're arguing over identity. You can fix mechanics with patches. Identity requires clarity. And RedSec doesn't have clarity yet. DICE doesn't need to overhaul RedSec. The foundation is solid, the pacing is promising, the potential is real. But here's what needs to happen before Season 2. Publish a clear identity statement. Is RedSec meant to be a long-term flagship mode, a rotating experimental mode, a BR for Battlefield, a survival mode for first-person shooter players? Clarity alone will reduce the friction. Add dual-path challenge progressions. This is a hindsight more than anything else. It's a growing pain that the devs corrected almost immediately, but never force players into a mode they didn't choose. Battlefield players value agency. Mandatory participation destroys goodwill faster than balance issues or patches. Adjust the TTK specifically for RedSec. Not globally, RedSec only. Slower TTK in this mode gives more counterplay, more tactical reposition, fewer unavoidable deaths, more meaningful engagement. This preserves Battlefield's identity without slowing the entire game. Expand loot variation just slightly. Not a full attachment system, not COD's loadout treadmill. Just enough variation to create decision-making, situational attachments, utility variations, ammo-dependent trade-offs. Simple but meaningful is the target. And increase early rotation cover. Fire ring rotation needs more soft cover, more midfield obstacles, more flanking paths. This reduces RNG punishment and makes mid-game more deliberate. RedSec is not a bad mode. It's also not a good mode. It's an unfinished one. And the divide comes from the lack of definition. Players aren't arguing because they hate RedSec. They're arguing because they want it to succeed in fundamentally different ways. Which side do you fall on? Are you the tactical slow burn type? Or do you want fast-paced chaos with constant pressure? Let me know below. Before you head out, take a moment to check the description for this month's Veteran Spotlight, MSGA, Military Support Groups of America. Look at the link, share it, and support it however you can. Till the next one.